to the Tyler Show. This is episode 7. Now, from now on, everything's going to be chronologicamente. You know what I mean? Give yourself a hug right now. Come on, just do it. Don't be afraid. Don't let those hands tremble. Give yourself a hug right now. Give yourself a hug, or I'll have to hug you first. Who's going to be the first to hug yourself? Is it going to be you? Moving on. So today I wanted to tell some stories. I have a beautiful life, and I've had some very ridiculous things happen to me, and I've caused some ridiculous things to happen to me in my life. So I'm going to tell some stories, true stories. One of my favorite stories of things that's happened to me was for a job interview that I went to about 2 years ago now. I just graduated from college, and I had no way of getting a job. I was desperate to find jobs. I was applying for everywhere on Craigslist and everything, and I wasn't finding anything, not even little freelance gigs. And I was really struggling, and I started applying for marketing jobs, which is it's a little outside of the film industry, where I wanted to go, but it's still somewhat related, right? Right. By the way, you might notice that I have a safety pin where a button should be. I realized this shirt does not have a button in it this morning, and it's now part of my pile of clothes that I need either my mom or Nicole to help me sew buttons onto. It's 3 or 4 things that I need that for. But, okay, so anyway, I was looking for jobs, and I was in marketing, and I got an interview for this marketing job out in the Valley through Craigslist, and I was just okay, get dressed up, ready to go, and it's in this really shitty shopping mall. Second floor, just dingy and gross, just stains on the wall, and just the carpet's filled with crumbs, not that great. Of course, I get into the suite that I'm supposed to go to, and it's filled with 20 other people or so, and they're all dressed really nice. The guys are all just yeah, crisp, and all the girls are just ha ha ha, I have really nice clothes on right now, and I'm gonna kill it to kill this interview, and you. No, and so there's 20 other people there, and I'm just oh, okay, and everyone's all just sitting in the same room, and they're all schmoozing with each other, just yeah, totally. And there's a little boom box next to me where I'm sitting that is playing poppy techno house trance music, and it just doesn't make any sense, and it's just sitting there uncomfortable, and then this guy came out hey everybody, how's it going, and he starts describing this job, and it turns out the job was to go around to college campuses and try to convince college-age girls to buy salon packages, and it was purely a commission-based job. If you don't sell anything, you don't get any money, and the cut wasn't even good. It was I didn't even know why I was there anymore, and I was just I don't even care a little bit about this. I should just leave right now. And then I was wait, maybe I should do something fun instead. And I was the second to last person on the list. And so I was waiting and waiting and waiting. And finally they called me in, and this guy called me in, and I go into his private office. There's a little window on the side, and he just leans back in his chair, and he's okay, Tyler Holtman, okay, alright, so you think you could do the job? And I swear to God, this is what I said. I said, actually, I'm an alien. And he was right, okay, but you think you could do the job? And I was yeah, I really like Earth. Earth is a beautiful place. And he was just okay, yeah, so do you think you could handle this this type of job? And I was just yeah, I mean, it's very different than my planet, but I think I could do it. And at this point, he just got fed up. He was just like, okay, and like no one else had heard us in this office, and he like opens the window and like talks to his assistant. And he's just like, what's going on here? Like what's up? What's up with this guy? And like the guy like opens the door, and like I immediately stand up, and I'm just like, what's wrong? Like what's going on? And he's just like, you need to get out of here. Like you need to leave. And I was just like, what did I do wrong? Like his assistant's like super confused, and then like the one other person's waiting is just like, oh my god, what's going on? And I'm just like, what did I do? Did I do something wrong? And I'm like slowly like backing towards the exit. I'm just like, did I do something wrong? Did I do something wrong? And then I just closed the door and walked away. And yeah, that's what I did. And then I laughed like all the way home. It was hilarious. And I'm really proud of that story. Yeah. And I actually have told that story a couple of times, and the very few times that I've done stand-up, I've told that story a couple of times, and I like spice it up when for stand-up, you know, and like add some Craigslist jokes, you know. But yeah, stand-up has never really felt like the right fit for me, even though I think I could be good at it and it could be fun, but never been all that motivated. This video blog is like stand-up-ish, but there's like a lot less pressure to like be funny. But I wanted to tell another story, something kind of similar that I did really recently, actually. That last story was like 2 years ago. This story is maybe like a month ago or something like that. So I was really bored, and it was like the end of August, beginning of September. Yeah. And I was really bored, and I just wanted to go on an adventure, and I started walking around our neighborhood in Valley Village, and I got to the LA Valley College, which is like a pretty short walking distance from our place, and it was like the first week of school there, and so it was like Wednesday, like 6:30, and like all these people were like arriving, and I was just like, like, you know what would be fun is if I just like sat in on some class, you know, on the first day of class, and just like picked up a syllabus and like pretended that I really wanted to add the class, you know, so I was just like, okay, and I was just like following some other people and just like trying to figure out where I wanted to go, and I came to this map, and I saw the map, and I was just like, theater building, that's where I want to go. Like, I just like knew, my intuition was just like, yes. The more I thought about it, I was like, yeah, this is a good idea. Like, this has the most possibility that I'll like have to do something ridiculous. Like, we'll do some like weird exercise, you know, or something like that. And I thought, you know, this could be really fun. And I got to the theater building, and like no one was like going into the building, and I was just like, maybe not. Maybe not. And I walked inside, and I saw a flyer that said auditions going on right now. And there was a door open at the end of the hallway, and there was a bald man, hair on the side, glasses, and he was just like, are you here for the auditions? And I was just like, yes I am. And he was just like, oh great, hey, we got a male. And so I went inside, and they were like, okay, now what time was your appointment for? And I was like, oh, I don't have an appointment. I was just walking in, and the girl who was like helping me sign up, she was like this big girl with like a lip ring, and like that actually really hurt. And she had like spiked hair and like a big cross like distorted over her like huge boobs, and she was just like, oh god, you don't have an appointment? Like, okay, well, luckily we don't have that many people, so we can like try to pencil you in, like. And I was just like, thank you so much, like, that means a lot to me. And it was for this play, I can't remember what it's called. It was some obscure play I'd never heard of, and there was like 4 female parts and 2 male parts for it, and one of the male parts was like in his 50s, and the other part was in his 20s, so I was like, well, obviously the only part that I could go out for was this 20s guy, but he's like like a Mexican guy, or like a Latin, like Spanish dude or something like that. So he has all these lines that are just like, how can we go there without them noticing us? You know, like, I love you, but I can't go with you. You know, just like stuff like that. I was like looking over the sides, just like practicing to myself, like, oh my god, I'm gonna kill this. You know, like I'm gonna go for that. And the girl with the cross comes up and she's just like, wait, what are you reading? Like, no. You're gonna read for Richard. Like, you're gonna read these sides, like for the 50-year-old man. I was just like, oh, okay. And she's like, I'm gonna pair you up with Jenny over here. And this girl, Jenny, she was probably in her like early 30s or something like that. A little strange looking, but like earnest, you know. And she was like nice, and like she was gonna be like playing my wife, and so like we started like running over the lines together, and it was like, I mean, I guess the play is a comedy, so like we had this scene where we were like a married couple, and we were like putting our child to sleep, and like I find out that she got like a nanny cam teddy bear thing, and like that really upsets me, and so we have like this whole like thing about it, and like we're just like running over the scene together, and I'm just like pretending that I'm an actor, and like I decided to just like give it my best shot. Like I did like 4 years of theater in high school, you know. I've been in a lot of plays, but I still don't really consider myself an actor. Like, I'm not that great of an actor, I think. But I just decided to give it my best shot, you know? And we read it a few times, and I was just like, let me try it like in like a Woody Allen voice. I'm just like, geez, honey, like, how could you have done this? Like, you don't trust me? Like, if you don't trust the nanny, we should just get rid of her, you know? Like, that whole thing, and like the girl I was reading with is just like, okay, yeah, I mean, do whatever you want. But even though like I wasn't very good when we were rehearsing, the only other guy there, I heard him like reading through with his partner, and he was like probably like 19 or 20 or something like that, younger than me. And he was just like, honey, how could you have done this? You are very untrustworthy, you know, just like completely like terrible, like standout terrible. Meanwhile, like the guy who had like ushered me in, this bald guy with glasses, like I keep catching him like looking over at me, just like really excited, you know, that I was there, just like he was like planning on like mentoring me. Like I could tell he was just like, wow, like this could be a new start, you know. Getting really excited. I'm scratching my nose a lot. And I'm trying to say like less also. But anyway, so finally the time comes for us to go into the audition. And in the audition room, there's like a casting director like sitting at a table. She's just like this like, you know, 40s woman, you know, with just like a haircut like bangs that just like go straight across here, and like hair like slightly mulletish in the back, and just like very like nice woman, you know, like very ha ha ha. And then the director is like sitting like 2 rows back in like a 4-row theater, just like crossing his legs, just like, I'm so exhausted from watching terrible auditions, just like never saying a word, just like this guy, just like brr, brr, director. And she's like going over like our information sheets, and on my information sheet, it said, you know, list previous experience, and I wrote, I'm new, smiley face, and she said, okay, Tyler, I see you wrote, I'm new, love that little smiley face there, but so you've never done any sort of acting or anything like that before? I was just like, no, my friends, you know, they really encouraged me to do this, and I figured, why not? I'm always doing theatrical type things with my friends, so I figured I should just give it a try. And she's just like, okay, well, that's fine, you know. Sure, we'll see, you know, we'll see what's going on. Now, I see on the back here, for conflicts, you wrote that you're unavailable just one time slot here from Thursday from 3 to 4:30. Now, do you have like a class or something like that during that time? And I was like, yeah, I got a class, you know. And she's just like, well, what kind of class is it? Is it like, you know, a math class, science, you know? I was just like, oh, yeah, it's kind of like a science class. She's like, well, is it a science class or is it kind of a science class? And I was just like, it's a science class, biology. And she's just like, oh, okay, all right. Yeah, well, we might be able to like work around it. So let's just get on our feet and get started here. So, you know, like me and this girl Jenny, you know, we just like give it our best shot. I'm just like, honey, like I can't believe you got this nanny cam teddy bear. And at the end of the scene, like I like get the teddy bear and like throw it in the microwave and turn on the microwave and storm out of the room, and like I like give it my best shot, and like I would give myself like a 6 or 7 out of 10. Like I did all right, and at the end of it, they were like, "Well, Tyler, that was very good for, you know, never having done any acting before. So this is a working number for you. Like yes." And the whole time I had written a fake name. I wrote Tyler Eller on there, and I wrote a fake phone number, fake email address, like completely fabricated. And they were just like, so does this email works for you? And I was just like, oh yeah, totally. And they're like, okay, well, we'll let you know. Callbacks are going to be next week, so, you know. And I was just like, oh, great, thanks. And just like walked out the door and just laughed all the way home. Yep, and that's what I did. And I kind of secretly hoped that somehow one of the people involved in this audition see this video and they find out what happened. And I actually feel a little bad for the guy with the bald guy with the glasses, because he seemed like he really had a lot of high hopes for me. I don't know why, but it's pretty absurd. Yeah, so that's that story. I wanted to read a little bit of poetry also for this episode. I write poetry, not like typical like rhyming, you know, metered poetry. I write very like free verse, connective, intuitive, kind of random poetry. And I'm not like I'm a poet, but it's just like a place of like free expression for me, just like this blog. And I wanted to read one of my poems to you. This is my notebook, and this is notebook number 17. This is backwards, but this is the inside cover of my 17th notebook. I've been keeping a notebook like this. This is number 17. I've been doing it since 2007, so 5 years, as long as I've been meditating. And I just like, I fill the pages with just a lot of drawings and some writing, and sometimes me and my friends, we all get together. This is me, Nicole, Ryan, and Suzanne. We all drew a character. I drew this one, Nicole, Suzanne, and Ryan drew that. These are all characters that we did. And I just like fill my notebook and just like I never tear out pages. I never like scribble out anything really, except for like fixing little things. But it's just a safe place for creative expression, and I love it. It keeps me really, really focused. I would like highly recommend it to anyone who is interested in anything creative. Really, it's just like having a notebook to express yourself, your thoughts, words, drawings, ideas, whatever, and highly recommend it. It's helped me a lot. On the first page of all my notebooks, it's become tradition for me to write just like a random poem. So this is the poem on the opening page of my 17th notebook. A palette of colors crumbling in the woodlight. Challenges and Christmas, seasonal dungarees, and the West salad on ice, please. A sculpture of progress, a knot tied around it, a string on a baby coat, and sweater weather. Forgive the blustering wind, chomp on some leaves and add some BBQ to the mix. Sriracha salad, hummus hero, peanut butter fault lines, and a bird-shaped bubble. That silly Achilles, that frog rocket and its underwear companion. First meet me in the rose garden, then follow me to the black couch with the suns on the wall and the pictures drifting up into the ceiling. Oh, the woe of bread cutters, the baker's believers, and the prophet's wife. Small business owners gather under their cucumbers and gurgle their Gatorade. Electrolyte orchestra, a brass bunion, and a kidney sword in the stone. Pass gas and collect $100. Pass Paul and he'll give you a honk to remember. A Honk to Remember, the new film starring Yolanda Perez and Michael Keaton, directed by Bill Burner and produced by a small teddy bear. The production designer dropped his salad into the paint can, and he got a lifetime of ideas. God retired at age 30, then went hunting for wild angels. The halos are made of butter, and their socks are made of cayenne lullabies. Baby piano, press my black keys. I'll have an arpeggio of an orgasm and force the fat lady to sing. Take a sausage hostage and turn your gun into the gummy bear police. That's a poem. I don't have a title for it, but that's a poem. So this episode went by really fast for me. I just told 2 stories and read 1 poem, and I had a whole bunch of stuff that I could have talked about. So maybe I'll record another episode later tonight. Who knows? It's all up in the air, just like you don't care. So click over here to go to the next episode, and click up here to subscribe. Pointing is fun, isn't it?